He Niue's Department of Health has officially declared an outbreak for COVID-19. Niue's cabinet ministers face a barrage of questions in the first whānau eke pule for the year. And meet Niue's new Australian High Commissioner. BCN News sat down with Olivia Poncam. Ke he tauwhisi pua mo I tauwhisi siale ha Niue whekai whakalofalahi atu. Welcome to BCN News. Niue's Department of Health has declared a COVID-19 outbreak with 99 active cases on the island to date. The surge marks the first outbreak since the pandemic. Niue's Public Health Director is urging residents to take precautions, avoid public gatherings and to wear a mask. Here's the story. Almost 3 years since the pandemic, COVID-19 is back in full force on Niue.
Started off with my wife and daughter on Saturday.
Alofi Tokelau resident Charlie Loma Loma and his family are among the 99 active cases this week. Him and his family made the proactive decision to go into immediate isolation after his wife and 2 children tested positive at the weekend.
Just mild flu symptoms, but we're just isolating at home.
Up until yesterday, we have a total of 99 cases. So that's since this outbreak started on the 11th of January.
It's the first surge since 2022. This week, Niue Hospital reported 41 new active cases, but Niue's Director of Public Health warns that the actual number may be higher.
In November 2022, we had a total of 380 cases. So the feeling that we have is already we might be closer to that number with the number of cases that we have been monitoring so far.
The outbreak has already seen 4 hospitalised. Mokoia says new cases arriving off flights over the holiday period and a number of public gatherings this month were likely contributors to the rise in cases. She is now urging residents to take precautionary measures and to mask up.
Now, because we don't know who's already got COVID, it'd be advisable to also mask up when you go to the shops and public gatherings. And practice hand washing as well as proper coughing etiquette.
In March 2023, Niue's government softened the COVID-19 mandates. Despite the outbreak, Mokoia says it was unlikely they would be enforced again.
People already know what they're supposed to be doing.
With COVID-19 protocols now relying on individuals to test and isolate. For Charlie and his family, they're taking no chances.
If we can just take precautionary measures, just for the sake of our old folks and small kids who haven't been vaccinated.
As Niue now braces itself once again. Moana Makapilu Lee, BCN News. From the first sitting of the 18th Niue Assembly for the year, ministers faced a barrage of questions including on Niue's fuel efficiency and government vehicles. Minister of Finance, Crossley Tātui, revealed that lack of quality and timely information for decision-making was also an issue. Here's Esther Pavehi with more.
Ministers faced a barrage of questions during the first sitting of the whānau Kepule yesterday. One of those questions prompted a revelation from the Minister of Finance, Crossley Tātui, that the lack of quality and timely information for decision-making is an issue.
Lack of quality data for decision-making.
The Minister was responding to a question from Common Role member E Mani Whakauti Manawa Lui about fuel efficiency and maintenance costs of the government vehicles.
Asking the Minister of Finance and Infrastructure a supplementary question, would the Minister consider gathering fuel and vehicle expenses data for the sake of determining which vehicles are being used according to government policy, as well as which type of vehicle have better efficiency versus running costs?
Minister Tātui said that the information about government department vehicle running costs is not currently available. He explained that this information would normally be available through the Office of the Government's Internal Auditor, but this position has been vacant for a number of years now. In previous years, BCN News has asked for information about the number of government vehicles, but that information remains elusive. It's understood the questions about government vehicles is raised again because the vehicles are being used for personal use by government employees. During the Whanau Pula yesterday, Minister Tatui also spoke about open government and right to information and the lack of progress in getting this legislation through, despite having had many workshops and training for members of Parliament over the past few years. This morning, BCN News reached out to the Ministry of Finance and to the Secretariat of the Public Service Commission for information from previous financial year's inventory of government assets to determine the total number of government vehicles. There was no response when this story was filed. Esther Pavihi for BCN News.
It's been 2 months since Olivia Pongcam took office as Niue's new Australian High Commissioner. The new diplomat will serve just 1 year in the role, so what are her priorities? Mere Satakala sat down with her to find out.
With 20 years of experience as a career officer with various Australian government departments, including the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, new Australian High Commissioner to Niue, Olivia Pongcam, shares how the experience has been so far. She is no stranger to Niue, having visited the island in her previous role as an advisor to the PACER Plus implementation unit based in Samoa.
So it's great. I mean, I fell in love with Niue when I travelled here for my previous work. So I knew what I was coming into. The people are lovely, the scenery is stunning, and the work is really interesting. There's real potential here. There's a lot of talent and there's a lot of work that the Australian government can do in Niue.
As Australia seeks to deepen its ties across the Pacific, she shares on key priorities the Australian government will look to strengthen with Niue, including plans to establish an Australian and Niue Friendship Day.
So this year is actually our 5th year anniversary in terms of the establishment of the Australian High Commission here in Niue. So we really want to deepen that presence and also build a chancery here and also establish a Niue Australia Friendship Day and celebrate that on an annual basis. We want to deepen our ties with the Niuean community and also with stakeholders, public and private sector, in Niue to really be able to work on sectors such as creative industry, cultural heritage, community-based tourism, and there's other areas in terms of digital trade and e-commerce that we can actually expand on.
Pongcam also shared on the recent withdrawal of the United States from the World Health Organization, the Paris Agreement, and a freeze to U.S. aid.
So the US pause on development assistance as well as the WHO and the Paris Agreement. That's a decision for the US administration. So in terms of Australia, we stand committed to the Paris Agreement, to the WHO, and in terms of our development assistance, we want to be the a partner of choice for neighbouring countries.
She has confirmed that they have released on their website the Australian Awards Pacific Scholarship 2026 with 1 intake per year. Application deadline will close on April 29th, 2025. Last week, Pongcam hosted a special brunch for Niue's faith-based leaders at her residence, an opportunity for the new commissioner to connect with Niue's community leaders and discuss community initiatives and their needs. It's one of many events the Commission has planned for the year. As foreign interest grows in the Pacific, Australia is looking to ensure its presence is felt. Mersatkala, BCN News.
As government departments kick off the new year, Director of Niue Health Minerva Ikimau shared her department's upcoming plans with BCN News. A key focus this month is the multi-stakeholder engagement for the renewal of the Niue Health Strategic Plan 2025 to the year 2035, a critical process she says has been long overdue.
Niue Health Director Minerva Ikimau has revealed to BCN News that given the extensive nature of renewing the Niue Health Strategic Plan document 2025 to 2035, it is imperative that they do this right. She says health is a complex, adaptive system where interactions and relationships of different components simultaneously affect and shape the system.
So the plan has expired, so there is a big need to get it renewed and put in place for the next 10 years.
Consumer engagement is an essential element in healthcare, where recognizing the importance of involving consumers, the community in the design, delivery, and evaluation of health services is fundamental in improving quality and safety. Ikimau adds that the multi-stakeholder engagement for the renewal of this document is collaborative for everyone in setting the direction of travel in adopting a whole-of-government, whole-of-society approach. The Health Department is encouraging attendance, participation, and valuable discussions to the sessions, which will be led by WHO consultant Elina Väisänen.
Just highly encouraging the community to come through and be part of the consultations.
The engagement is scheduled from the 15th to the 20th of next week and will be held at various locations on the island. Mersa Takala, BCN News.
Slow response rates from operators is deterring travellers from visiting Niue, according to Niue's tourism director. Maika Fuhinio Viviani said response rates to direct booking inquiries remained a significant challenge for the island's tourism industry, and delays were creating gaps in the booking process, frustrating potential visitors and often leading them to either seek assistance from the Niue Tourism Office or abandon their plans to visit Niue altogether. Fuhinio Viviani says it is critical that operators prioritise swift responses and enhance their communication travels to retain traveller interest and strengthen Niue's reputation as a travel destination. Niue's tourist arrival numbers increased by 28% last year, with numbers forecast to grow again this year. And we end tonight with a remarkable fishing tale. This morning, just off the coast of Alofi, a Tuatalangi landed an impressive 312.2 kg blue marlin. It took him nearly an hour to reel in his catch from the Aliutu fish aggregating device. Talangi told BCN News that the massive fish proved too heavy to lift onto his boat, prompting him to drag it to Sir Robert's Wharf, where a crane was used to hoist it out of the water. The blue marlin has been gifted to a local family for their upcoming haircutting ceremony later in the year. That's our show for tonight. If you have a story to share, you can reach out to us on our BCN Facebook page or visit us at the Met Office. A special whakalofa atu to our viewers from across the region and to our partners at Pacifica TV. I'm Moana Makapilu Lee, Monuina e Pō.